The NRM Parliamentary Caucus is mulling a proposal to amend Article 103 subsection A of the Constitution to change the system of governance from the presidential to a parliamentary system. The proposal, if endorsed by Caucus and later tabled in form of a constitutional amendment bill, will empower MPs of a political party that wins the majority in Parliament to appoint the president. Since last week, the State Minister for Urban Planning, Isaac Msumba, has used the gathering in Chankwanzi to lobby his colleagues, while the Caucus Spokesperson Margaret Muhanga has asked MPs to back the system, which bears parallels with the UK Westminster model. In a telephone interview, Muhanga disclosed that their proposal is anchored on saving funds spent on the general elections.
We are saving all those resources. Every day there is a helicopter taking him somewhere for an election. Every day he has 4 sets of cars to take him to the next rally. Now, let him get out of an election, let MPs go and fend for themselves, fight for themselves, and come to Parliament. And the MPs don't elect the president in the Westminster style. By the time you go to the field, you know who your president will be. So you go to the people, tell them we are for this party, and our president shall be so and so after we have won.
A source attending the retreat told NTV that President Museveni in the last general elections spent over 100 billion shillings. MPs opinate that only half of this money can be channeled directly to MPs to win the majority. According to Muhanga, the exponents of this proposal are yet to meet the president and are not certain whether he will support it.
We haven't told him about it. You see, the president is somebody who believes in himself and he doesn't want even to be detached from the people. He would even fight it. I don't even know why people think we are doing it for him. The president knows people. He goes down on the ground and knows people in every district, in every sub-county.
Those against it argue that the president will not allow his political fate to be decided by MPs, whose turnover after an electoral cycle is above 70%. However, others argue that the NRM MPs will be pawns in a much predictable landscape, which is skewed to favor the ruling party that is fused with the organs of the state. The opposition will likely face a tall order to mobilize a financial war chest to be able to compete at the grassroots. Opposition MPs claim that this proposal only intends to save the president from the rigorous campaign trail.
Among youth. And the MPs have a thinking that if each of them had 500 million, I would imagine each of them will be back in Parliament. So I think the idea is not noble. The idea is not people-centered. The idea is an elitist aspiration that has lost its way and it's all out to work for one individual. So
the kind of decisions that are making in Chankwanzi are never made in an environment of free will. They are draconian. They're actually ingrained in political ignorance. So people in that kind of environment cannot be making decisions out of free will. Either there's somebody breathing down their neck. I'm not even sure I can engage one of them to explain what they're trying to plan. They even understand what it means.
Those members of parliament, when they become broke, they will say, are you bringing money? We are going to censor you. And you will actually bring the money. But when you have been elected by all Ugandans, who will put you on pressure? You will finish your term and serve with the Ugandans.
Since the opposition have been crying for that the incumbent uses a lot of state resources, moves with armored cars, intimidates people, that's how he gets voted. Now he's not going to move with all those. It's even better for them to test their strength on the ground.
Muhanga further says that even if the Chankwanzi retreat fails to discuss this matter, those championing it will continue lobbying other power centers. The first post-colonial administration was under a parliamentary system after UPC and Kabaka Yeka formed an alliance to trounce the Democratic Party. The December 1980 polls were also decided by a parliamentary system, where Milton Obote's UPC edged Kawanga Semogere's DP. Those against this new mode of election argue that the president will still have to go down on the ground to sell the party manifesto. State resources will continue to be spent and the state machinery will be present on the ground as it is right now. Habad Ziwa, NTV, here at Parliament.